Welcome to Talk Theory. It's your host, Kiara Barnes, where I talk all things life, what makes us human, and what makes us superhuman. Sit back, relax, and join me for a chat. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Talk Theory. Hey guys, I'm your host, Kiara Barnes. Good to have you guys with me again. Updates. As of now, strike is still happening. As of now. Who knows who's to say by the time this airs, if things are different. But yeah, I've been keeping you guys posted on everything. Hold on, my headphones are so loud right now. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are with that. Okay, folks, Halloween is over. We are officially in Christmas territory. I'm sorry. I'm starting the Christmas decorations this week. And actually, no, I am not sorry, okay? I'm not sorry. I say shame on those that make the Christmas folks feel bad for wanting to celebrate early. Plus, I don't really celebrate like Thanksgiving like that, Yeah, it's considered a holiday, but I don't know. I use that time off by visiting with family. Just the history behind Thanksgiving, a little sketchy. But we won't get into that right now. But what I'm trying to say is that it's Christmas time, baby. Okay? Y'all, I really do. I love Christmas. It's a time of joy. You get your sweets and food and music. The Christmas music is so nice, and everyone is just in a better giving mood. Anyhow, speaking of people raining on people's parades, after Luna's here. I've been taking stock in things lately and just observing. And I just want to talk about how I've been feeling. Specifically within regards of online bullying, unnecessary hate, and just an overall theme with talking down to others. I'm most certainly not a fan of it. And I just want to have a little chit chat so that it can really, I just feel like it needs to calm down, And it's wild that as an adult that this is still an issue, but alas, here we are. I'm sure I'm not the exception when it comes to being bullied or have had hurtful comments said to me, whether it be when I was younger in elementary and middle school or high school or straight up in my adult years. There has been plenty of times where, that's happened. And I remember not knowing how to handle this as a child very well, which makes sense as a child. I feel like as humans in general, we crave a sense of belonging, and especially as children, we want to fit in because when we stand out, there's more risk of people making fun of you because you're not blending in, you're sticking out. And for me, I've always really stood out. Okay, I'm biracial. I have tan skin, green eyes, curly hair, and very thick jet black brows. Thank you, Mama. And so, yeah, I'm pretty hard to miss. And, as I've gotten older, I've accepted these features and I've learned to love them and love how individual that they make me. But back then, I was not the biggest fan. Okay. I was called all kinds of things and it was horrible. I would get prank calls. It was so mean. And I found myself crying a lot and losing a lot of friends because no one wanted to hang out with the girl that got picked on because fair enough. That meant that their chances on getting picked on were a lot higher if they were around me. It all sounds so ridiculous, but it was painful. And even when I got to high school, specifically when I moved from Missouri or Missouri to Utah, I really stuck out. As you can imagine, there weren't a lot of black people, okay? There weren't a lot of black folks around, let alone folks that look like me, okay? I mean, seriously, guys, people used to refer to me, and this is not a joke, but it should be a joke because it's that ridiculous. People used to refer to me behind my back as the black girl. Not even a name, just the black girl. Like, the creativity is just gone, nothing. And I only found out about this because a girl's mom at my school referred to me as that. Now, if you've been listening to this for a while, you've heard the story about how I went over to this girl's house and her mother came down and was like, "Oh, you must be the black girl." And the other girls that were there were kind of horrified because it was like, oh, like she wasn't really supposed to know that we call her that. Wild, okay? And I'm not lying to you. Like, it was also shocking, but I've even been asked if I could go down a whole thing and it would take up the entire episode. But if I was from Africa and what else? I've had people literally hashtag black girl or I wish I were black under selfies with me at school. If I wore my hair curly, then it became a petting zoo. Seriously. Or even boys that I liked would tell me to keep it a secret because they didn't want other people to know about it. Now, obviously, okay, we're approaching along some straight up racist territory. But this racism was out of ignorance and not malice, which is also, even a complicated layer on top of that. All to say, between that and entering in the model world where they ridicule you just based off of your look from the jump, and directly in front of you, to entering the world of acting and being perceived by millions of strangers through a screen, I've had my fair share of bullying. And let me be clear, I chose this career path. I understand that my lack of privacy comes with the job. I am a public figure, and the further I go into this career, the more that is made evidently clear. But I still find it's important to have these discussions and to remind people that, I'm also a person. I'm on screen, yeah, but I'm also a person, And I find it, and I want to say, I find it incredibly endearing when people are fans of the project I'm in. I can't remember who, I'm so sorry if you're listening to this, but I was at Disneyland. Yeah, Disneyland for the first time in California on my birthday. This was in June, and I was just enjoying. And this woman and her mother and her husband came up to me, and she was so emotionally moved and, was just saying that she just, loved my character, Ruby, and all of this and that. And it was so beautiful. And so I don't want to people doing too much. Like, when it's done with love, it is always appreciative. And I always want to hear that support. And if I've impacted your life in a way from the work that I've done, that's beautiful to hear. That's really beautiful. And we got to have this moment, and I got to talk to her about why it was so impactful and why the character meant so much to her. And those moments are absolutely priceless. And it's incredibly endearing when people are fans of the projects I'm in. And it means more than anything, especially if you followed along from the beginning. A lot of you listening to this podcast right now, that is you. And I thank you so much for the support and love. But on the other hand, I've had some wild fan interactions in person or online where I am in shock by some of the things that have been said or written to me. And I will say I've got super lucky playing Ruby on Fantasy Island because she is just a lovely, lovely character. Really that motherly figure that has your back, and she just loves to take care, and that's just how Ruby is. She just can't help herself. And so a lot of people looked at Ruby as like, oh my gosh, like you remind me so much of my mother, or you remind me so much of my tia, or, my abuela, my grandma. And that meant so much to know that you could watch something that I've done and feel some sense of comfort, But I've also had characters in the past that aren't as cute in that way, not nice, not people that I would necessarily befriend, the characters that I've played in the past. And folks tend to forget that I am playing a character, that I am not really that character. A whole lot of stories for that. But I don't want to just focus on the bad things that I've seen on the internet, but I just do think that it's important to discuss how freely people speak, because the division between screen and reality makes people feel like they can say anything and do anything. And to me, that's even worse, because a lot of these people behind the keyboards or the phones wouldn't be saying any of this if it weren't for that separation. Honestly. And for me, I don't care. I'll use a block button. I've heard other people go, oh no, I'm not going to let these people win. They can, sound off in the comments, and say whatever. Here's the thing. When it gets to the point of disturbing and harassment, also protect your energy. You betcha, buddy. I'm reporting you, all right? And you're getting blocked from everything. That's right. Everything, okay? I don't even know these people. I don't know you. So for you to be up on my page saying all kinds of crazy things, you're getting blocked, Buster. You're getting blocked, okay? And a lot of folks will be like, well, I just had to get your attention. You're blocked. You're blocked, okay? Luckily, Instagram has cracked down on this now with not allowing people to say certain keywords or things, or limiting comments, or limiting who can DM you. And so it's gotten better in that way. And other social media apps are seeming to slowly catch on, but folks definitely need to take caution with online commenting and criticism. Okay. Because I'm an adult who has chosen a very public line of work, and I'm aware of that. Whereas there's others that are just existing, okay, and living, and are still being harassed online or bullied. And I just want to aid as a reminder that the normalization of being mean and spewing hate should not be the norm. But the only way we can stop this is by having real discussions and reminding people of the impact. And the impact is, it has not only just on self-esteem, but mental health. At times, guys, it's irreversible, okay, when it goes too far. And I don't think anyone wants to have that kind of responsibility on them or their conscience. Also, I've noticed in the digital space, specifically TikTok, how intense hate can be, especially when it comes to influencers, because everything is so fast, so quick, and bite-sized in terms of time viewed and digested, that people are just doing it all the time. People duet videos and make people feel bad. For example, okay, there's this creator, I'm spacing on her name right now, but she's super sweet. She posts vlog style content of her and her kids, her husband, what she makes for the family and dinners and snack ideas. Well, this one day she posted a quick and easy snack that she likes to have before bed. And it was like frozen green grapes and I think lime squeezed on top. And she got torn up in the comments about it. And people duetting this going, oh, I had an entire Costco pizza and 2 slushies for my midnight snack. We are not the same. And then everyone else boosting them in the comments. Now, I can't remember exactly what these folks were saying when they were duetting this, but that was the gist. And it was just a facepalm moment. Like a group of people. I shouldn't even say a group. It was like a massive crowd ridiculing this girl for her snack. Like, really? And the thing is, she wasn't even trying to make any claim that you should be eating this or that it was a healthier option or that she found herself to be better than. It was literally her just using her regular platform as she does make content, eating a snack. And I was just shocked to see that, you know? And another one that really grinds my freaking gears was all of this Emma Chamberlain hate that's been going on over her podcast. Here's the thing. Look, I'm not even an Emma Chamberlain stan. I know of her. I've watched a few videos here and there and have listened to a few podcast episodes. I feel like for the most part, everyone knows who this is just because she skyrocketed and has become this massive success. And it's really incredible, her story, right? Well, folks have been on her stating that, oh, you know, she needs to go to college or take some courses or read some books because she needs to educate herself on topics so she can sound more scholarly and blah, blah, blah. She sounds too opinion-based. Babe, newsflash, it's a podcast. Hello? Her show was literally called Anything Goes, I think. It's about anything and everything. Anything goes. Even all podcasts are like this. Hello, I'm talking right now. Let me tell you, okay? You do not need a degree to be able to pick up a mic and record yourself. There are so many podcasts out there on so many different things. You ain't need no degree, okay? Let me just talk. Can we talk about Call Her Daddy? Perfect example. This woman is a self-made millionaire, okay? Based off what she made content of sex and relationships. Is she a sex and relationship coach? Does she have a degree in behavioral science geared towards sex and No. Okay, please save it. Most of your favorite TikToker podcasters just shoot the shiz the entire time. Now, if you're looking for an educational podcast, you can definitely find those. Hello, they're everywhere. But that's not what she's there for. Look at her YouTube videos. They're literally just videos of her living her life. There is nothing heady about it. So to me, people are just showing themselves out to be haters. Like, what? And others jumping on the bandwagon. I do not know what it is about people loving to see people fall from grace or whatever, but I just find it to be embarrassingly corny on their end. Like, focus on you, babe. Focus on your life. The fact that you are spending so much energy interested in nitpicking, you know, someone else's life tells me all that I need to know. Now, listen here. There's a difference between giving feedback and just being a hater. And just because you start your little TikTok video with, I'm really not trying to hate right now, but, and then continues forward to just straight up be a hater. You can give constructive criticism. I believe I even have an episode in this, baby. So go ahead, okay? If you need some pointers, all right. You can give constructive criticism in a way that is uplifting, rather in a way that is fueled on someone's downfall or to make them feel lesser than. And you should know the difference. Everyone has felt that before. No one has gone through this life unscathed where you haven't felt someone talk down to you versus someone actually give you constructive criticism with love. Truthfully, come on. Energy cannot be faked. So, for me, people that show themselves that way, you know what? I'm just going to write you off completely when it comes to I'm not even going to give it the power to affect, like if I was her, right, to affect my content. Because this is what it's been. Like I said from the beginning, that's just what she makes. She doesn't sit down for educational purposes. And y'all are acting surprised. Like, what? It's like, what? I just, sometimes, with these trends of people, and it'll be someone else in a week from now, right? Or 2 weeks from now. But it's just so ridiculous. And to me, your opinion has nothing to do with reality at that point. It's really an outward reflection of what you are experiencing internally, right? So truthfully, I do wish you all the best, okay? But speaking about these kinds of things are the only way that we're going to sort a lot of this out, because if people go unchecked, it just continues and continues, and it's so ugly. It's really ugly. It's not cute. It's very ugly. There's something so much more empowering when we come together to help one another, right? And stand up for one another, reminding each other that we are human, we do feel, and to have more compassion. I think when people see other people give more love, that becomes the new standard, because that is being shown more. Being shown more. Also reminding yourself that you don't always have to leave a comment. Okay? You can keep it to yourself. There's been countless times where I've seen things online and went, don't love that. Don't agree with that, but I kept it moving. You just scroll on past. There's no need to be mean or leave a comment that's ridiculing or degrading to someone. It just adds to nothing. It's just a waste. Turn on your empathy receptor, okay? And just as we were talking earlier about how everyone has been bullied or hurt at some point, remember back to that time. It didn't feel too nice when it happened to you, so don't continue on the cycle. You don't need a repeat. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm absolutely perfect. I've definitely been mean before. I think we all have, whether that be to our parents, our friends, our siblings, or just that unfortunate soul that crossed your path on a really bad day. It's happened. But to even be able to look back, admit fault, and strive to do better next time, or even apologize in the moment, even though it can be hard, is worth something. Because no one wants to be, and I understand, no one wants to be the bad guy. No one wants to feel like they've done wrong, but we're all humans. By nature, we are imperfect beings. It happens. But we can always use those moments as teaching moments to grow. All right, to wrap up today's episode, just remember overall, folks, you have choice. You have choice every day. You have the power to uplift or to not. But ultimately, it is your choice to lead in one of those two directions. Okay, today's theory of the week is kindness is the heart's gentle superpower. capable of transforming lives one act at a time. Okay, thank you for joining me on Talk Theory today. I hope that this resonated with some of you, and I get very passionate about these things, probably because I had grown up with so much bullying and just lack of understanding of why, and so when I see people gang up on other people, that just it's unnecessary. I feel like I just need to say something, because it's just, we're adults. Come on. Stop it. Okay. Anyhow, thank you for joining me again for today's episode. I went a little mama bear, but sometimes you gots to. Thank you for subscribing to the podcast. And if you haven't, hey, new episodes are out every Monday. And if you subscribe, you're not going to miss out. And I don't want to miss you, and you shouldn't miss me. Okay, so continue. Share with a friend, colleague, someone that you feel would vibe with this kind of show. All right. I shall see you next week. Okay. Love you. Bye.